You got to stop. You honestly, you've only confirmed my thoughts about how you would be at the, because remember, this all started with you saying you love the orchestra, which I just don't buy. And what you've done, you're showing me Yanni during the break. And I swear I'll get off this, everybody. But you're showing me Yanni during the break, right? And you're like, I could do without the music face. And what music face is the person playing the fiddle, and it's like, he goes, too much. And that's exactly how you would be if you watched the orchestra. You'd be commenting, you'd be like, all right, bongo boy. Like, there was some intangible with the long hair playing the bongos behind Yanni. He goes, skip. Jeez. You were done with him.
Some of those faces are not intentional, though.
I know.
It's kind of like,
I know.
Kind of reaches that note. Ugh.
But J-Fig, you're telling me you think he would go to a concert and not make fun of that face? Of course he would.
He would.
He's
I never
Leroy.
said he wouldn't.
I would still enjoy the music.
Maybe so, but you would have comments.
Try this honey trick tonight, and tomorrow you'll wake up.
The hell is that? Is that honey?
Honey trick.
Said, try this honey trick.
That means-
I'm saying, lower that volume, YouTube.
Let's get to a little headlines here, brought to you by Doral Kia. Doral Kia, choose from over 500 new Kia miles in inventory like the Sportage, the Sorrento, and the Telluride. Remember, when it comes to Kia, the great deals are at Doral Kia. Tate South made of Yanni.
Yeah. There's like 3 of these.
All
Yo,
right.
like, you
Like,
know what?
there's also this. This is Tobin at the.
You guys are ingrates, right? Jets informed Aaron Rodgers' team will go in a different direction. Yeah, we ain't waiting for you, buddy.
You want to know the great part is, though?
What?
They tweeted out, I swear to God, this is a real thing. New York Jets have tweeted out, for everything you've given us the past 2 years, thank you, 8.
Oh, none but headache and heartache.
The comments. He goes, David Ferronis from the Sun Sentinel. What, media and false hope? Guy says, to be clear, he gave the Jets 2 losing seasons, a dysfunctional roster, and emotional trauma. Thanks.
Got 17 people fired.
Poor Matt Saleh.
No, I like the meme.
Rob.
It says everything you've given
Rob
us, and it's
Saleh,
just a
sorry.
blank piece of paper.
Great.
Unbelievable.
I'm going to be honest. I'm not as much a big hater as Leroy is of Aaron Rodgers, but I didn't expect it to go this bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And what you said makes sense, obviously, in retrospect. Old, coming off the Achilles, but even the first year, I was like, oh, that makes him a contender. Good defense. Aaron Rodgers. That's all they were missing. Plug and play.
Why you make the assumption that your team is going to be the same as it was the year before?
Because I'm dumb. All right. I just live off of emotion.
Like, regardless of you know how your record ends up, better or worse, you're never the same team as you were the previous year. Because keep in mind, if you have a whole lot of success, everybody's watching that film and they're trying to defeat all the things that you did well. So you're going to have to tweak it. That means you might have to win games in a different way. That means you might have to do things a certain way that you're uncomfortable with doing. But to say that, oh, we're just going to pick up where we left off, that never happens. Never.
So we got our own drama to deal with. That's with Tyreek Hill.
Oh.
Why, can I ask, why are you dealing with it? There's nothing to deal with.
I don't know that that's true.
I kind of want to hear.
Wait,
I don't know that
you're
that's
not
true.
dealing with anything because there is no football. Until there's football, all you're dealing with is a bunch of bumping gums.
That's true.
That's it.
There's a bunch of bumping
So
gums.
why are you reading too much into it?
Because look, one thing we know about Tyreek Hill,
He ain't gonna stop talking.
he doesn't stop talking, and him and the truth are not mutually exclusive.
Yeah, he does cheat on the truth.
He cheats on the truth. He's a whopper teller. And he went on this media tour last week, and he was like,
Right. Which still,
very apologetic.
I get all that, but here's the deal. You can apologize for what you said.
Mm-hmm.
You can't apologize for what you did.
But he also said he 100% wants to be back with the Dolphins.
Of course,
Right.
you don't want to get that pay cut.
Here was him last week. I apologize to our audience. You're going to have to listen to people I don't really like very much in this show. One of them being he who shall not be named. for Hour Tua. He was on his show, and this is what Tyreek Hill had to say to old Hell Dweller.
You mentioned the situation that God put you in, but when we heard you after the Week 18 game, it sounded like you didn't want to be in that situation anymore. And I understand it's an emotional time, but you said it. So where are you now?
I'm in a good space, man. I've had a conversation with my mom, had a conversation with my wife, and basically, like as a father, you don't need to put yourself in a situation like that. It doesn't matter how you feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, be able to, man up, because at the end of the day, you are a leader of men. Like, you're a leader of this team. So you got to know how to handle yourself in those moments. Right. Like, take accountability.
Right.
And I'm taking full accountability of what I said, man. Like, I don't deserve to say anything like that.
Yeah.
Miami Dolphins, they paying me to play this.
Yeah. They've been good to you.
They've been very good to me.
Right.
So why am I going to go out and say some of the things that I said, man? And I fully take it back, and I'm gonna take full accountability of it, and I'm gonna come back next year, hoping to still be there and bust my tail, man, for the team, for the guys, for the fans, for the whole city.
So you want to stay with the Dolphins?
I want to stay with the Dolphins.
100%.
I hear them. They're saying apology accepted.
All right, there you go. Chris Sims.
Did he say I hear them?
Yeah, Chris Sims is saying, don't speak for us, Chris
Yeah, I was
Sims.
gonna say, don't speak for me.
You don't speak for me, Chris Sims.
But so
He's saying they say apology accepted. He 100% wants to be back with the Dolphins. Takes accountability. All right, great stuff. Here's the thing, though, dude. Again, he's a bender of the truth. Now, take this for what it is, because, again, I don't care for this person coming up. But Bill Simmons, sports guy, Willie, he's claiming on his podcast that he ran into Tyreek Hill at the Super Bowl, and apparently Tyreek or people around him don't seem to have the Dolphins in mind as his future team. Take this for what it is, but listen to what Lil Willie had to say with his podcast co-host.
Looks like they hit the worthy pick, but the offensive line is like really rough. There's other teams coming. The Chargers are going to be better. We saw Tyreek Hill on Friday. I was trying to get him to come to the Pats. Wasn't happening, but there was a team.
Are you going to tell him what he said afterwards?
What did he say after?
I said, come to the Cowboys. And then he did the eyes thing. Like, I'm looking at you. I said, you may have to be our running back too. He's like, that's all right. I'm ready. So here we go. That is good news for Dallas.
Well, and then somebody that was with him was like, watch out for the Chargers, and walked off. I was like, what do you mean?
Okay, dude.
if I may, there's no football being played.
Understood.
So all you have is this. And I'm disappointed in you.
Me?
Wow.
Why?
Because you have used two people
Yeah.
who you consistently make fun of or send to hell,
Hate them.
and you're using them to make your point.
I'm not using them to make my point. I'm just presenting what has been said by Tyreek Hill.
He said a lot of stuff.
And then I'm being presented what may have been said by Tyreek Hill, seemingly off the record, I guess. I don't know. That's not journalism, but whatever. It was apparently in a private moment, seemed to be
Yeah,
intrigued by going to the
jokey
Cowboys.
jokes.
And or well, was it a jokey joke? Is it a jokey joke? Is it a jokey joke? Or is all like we've been wondering with all of this whole media tour that he's on, is it a whole lot of BS that he's throwing out there? He's saying one thing, but he means another. And is it time to just move on? Get ahead of it, Leroy. We've already seen a big situation here in town blow up in a team's face because they didn't get ahead of it.
But it works differently in football. It works differently in football.
But dude, come on.
You can't be on the other side of 30 and be acting a fool, because unlike basketball, football, you can get your money took. Football, they could cut you and just not pay you any money.
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, you got to be careful.
But I'm just saying, like, the guy is out here and he's going on podcasts and he's saying the right things for right now after doing the wrong thing. But if it's true that he's flirtatious with going to other teams and he doesn't really want to be back with the Dolphins because they've done right by him, again, what's going to happen when he has a game where he doesn't catch as many balls as he thinks that he should have, or doesn't block the way that he should, or shows up late to camp, or whatever, decides to sell shorts instead of be at practice, whatever. It was a fun run. It was like football crack. I loved it. But it seemed to have had its run, dude. I don't know.
One has nothing to do with the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your thought process behind that could be valid, right? And the other part of it with him going on a apology tour, right? Like he's running for president, that's a whole nother different situation. I would say I don't make anything of anything that he's saying because it's not football season and it don't matter. We'll forget. He'll say 7 other things between now and the start of camp. We know this. So you getting caught up 4 days after the season, getting caught up in what Tyreek Hill had to say, you're gonna be a nervous wreck by the time football starts.
I'm not really a nervous wreck because what I think everybody wants to do, and I think even what Drew Rosenhaus was trying to get ahead of, was like, hey, he was emotional in a moment.
I told you that.
But I don't know if he was. I think he but like I think what he said after the game is probably closer to the truth than
why?
Because if he is saying, even as much as I hate Lil Willie, if that is true that he's got flirtations with going to the Chargers or the Cowboys, going somewhere else, then him saying that I'm out is more closer to what he really wants than him being emotional about it. Like, it's a convenient thing to say you're emotional, but it could also in emotion, it can reveal the truth. It can be more of a truth teller.
Again, all the other stuff, whatever. Like the biggest issue, and I told you this, I'm gonna keep saying this. I don't care what somebody says, right? We all say some dumb stuff, right? And it's funny because we look at other people that say dumb stuff and we get on them and cancel them, acting like we ain't never said no dumb stuff. So I'm always cautious on just attacking somebody, saying stuff right after a game and being emotional.
Yeah, but I'm not attacking him. I'm asking if but if his feelings are legitimate, like just because you're emotional in a moment doesn't mean what you're saying is not something you believe. Like I could take it back or I could overlook it, but it doesn't mean what you said didn't have some validity to it. Like you've never.
I guess. I mean, I get what you're saying, but that's more to make your point, right? That there's some truth to it. Like when I said I dismissed it, I really dismissed it. But what I can't dismiss is what he did on the field.
Right.
That part of it, right? That part of it is grounds for, okay, we've had enough of this. I don't know whether the other stuff plays a role into it, the stuff we don't know about. But once you get to that point, to where you're saying I'm not going back on the field, now that says more to me than any of the words coming out of his mouth. I don't care how much he smiles. I don't care how much or whatever. They asked you to go in the game and you said no. Right?
And you made Waddle sad.
We need to have a conversation about that. That's what he should be apologizing for. He's over here apologizing for this over here, right? All these little things over here on the right, and we have a problem with what's going on over here. I don't have a problem with his mouth. Tyreek gonna talk, right? We weed through all of the crap that Tyreek says every year.
Cheating and talking is like breathing.
Right. But what separates what he did from any other football player is the quitting aspect of it. He has never addressed that. He has never said anything about that because everybody's concentrating on what you can get out of saying something stupid. It's a lot harder to get out of doing something stupid.
That's deep, dude.
I know. It's that classical music.
That's a point.
Point
so serious.
Why does Luke Kuechly look like a PGA golfer?